Hello everyone, welcome to Uday Talks. Today I'm going to speak about a topic called totalitarian. So what does it mean? So what do you mean by totalitarian? So it is a system of government that is centralized and dictatorial and requires complete subservience to the state. So while I was doing research on this particular topic, I came across a book called 1984 which was written by George Orwell. So this book basically speaks about how the Big Brother is ruling us as in the sense citizens by imposing their emotions into citizens' emotions and make people to act according to that. So this incident took place in London where the pyramid shaped government building that rise above the landscapes there are where some sort of work going on and all the citizens no really understand what is it all about, what is the root cause of this. Rockets frequently exploded in the streets and blew people to bits. The worst part is that government is always watching everything people do. There are these posters of a big brother, and everywhere there was only one name that was echoing: big brother, big brother, big brother. So who is this big brother? So big brother is still now is a question mark. Now, government that says Big Brother is watching you, they're all watching through police who have hidden cameras and microphones. Literally everywhere, the government can watch you in your home through your TV, and you are not allowed to turn your TV off. Ever there are a lot of things you are not allowed to do this in the society, and if you do this, then imagine it's a nightmare for you because you will be forced into the labor camp and you are not allowed to have close friends, you are not allowed to be in love, you can't even date with someone you like. You are basically supposed to save all your emotions, energy for the party, and the party being the government. Then there is things you have to do, have to watch the government programming on TV of most of its news, some of its exercises. You have to attend rallies and many more. So this is what happening in some parts of the world now. In several countries, you have been imposed to watch only certain news channels and you have imposed to have certain haircuts if you want to survive in that particular country. Otherwise, it's a nightmare for the citizens. Now, the story goes like this. Winston Smith, who is of 39 years old and has a job in the government, and he lives in a terrible situation in his life. At the beginning of the book, what he states that he used to have a diary and he always hates to share the diary with anyone because he is having an instinct that what if he is caught, then he will be forcefully thrown into the labor camps and make all the dirty things that the big brother wants the people to do. Now, the story goes like this. Winston Smith has two more people who he really imposes of speaking about. So those are the people who influence him very much. So out of which one person is Julie, who is very attractive and she is also working in the same building, but they never met. They used to speak, but they never seen each other in person. Now there is another guy whom he want to impose. He is nothing but O'Brien, who was his manager in the government, who was his superior or official. But he has an instinct that O'Brien is somewhat intelligent and he can listen to all his concerns. But yet again, he has another fear that as he is his manager, he has a small fear that what if he couldn't. Then one day he got a letter from Julie saying I love you. So by seeing this, the person Winston was very happy and excited. But yet again, he don't want to disclose it because if it has been disclosed, somehow if it has been reached to the big brother, then again they will be thrown into a brutal situation which he can't imagine. Somehow these people have met privately and these people finally left the. As they leave the country, they they start their love affair, and love affair makes them very happy, and it's danger because they could be killed or sent to labor camps if they caught. At last, Winston has someone to understand and who hates the party as much as he. Then he was eagerly waiting for the O'Brien, where he can express all his feelings. So one day, O'Brien invites Winston to his apartment, saying there was a work that he need to complete and which is very urgent. So Julie and Winston goes to their apartment and they try to explain about all the things what they want from O'Brien to get understood. They say they want to be rebel and O'Brien says yes, I am rebel too. And we all read this book that explains why things are the way they are. Winston reads this book and he blown away by it. Unfortunately, right after reading this, police burst in and arrest him and Julie and carry them off to the Ministry of the Law to torture them. So here it clearly understands that O'Brien wasn't a rebel candidate. After all, he just want to catch Winston in the Ministry of Law. They torture Winston in all sort of horrible ways. They break his bones, in his teeth, and use electric shock, and they starve him. And on, he tells them everything. He knows, he confesses to everything they ask him, and tells them everything he knows about Julia. After torturing him over and over, O'Brien finally says, my dear friend Winston, what is it that the government really wants is that they want is to have total power over the minds of the people. Like Winston explains, they want people to say 2 plus 2 equal to 5 and really believe it's not just say to avoid a beating for the government, it's purely an exercise in the power. They are not trying to control his mind. So they want the government to impose such a rules and regulations without any logics. For example, 2 plus 2 is equal to 5 rather than 4. And they want the people or the citizen to obey for that. If not, they are thrown into the camps and they will be tortured brutally. Now, after this torture, they called Winston to room number 101, where they do whatever is you are most afraid of. So they locked his face into a cage and threatened to let these rats eat their way through his face, and he has a phobia of rats. So he loses it and says to it to Julia, not me, which is a completely betrayal of what most important to him. The government has taken his last shred of integrity, and after he does that, they let him and Julia go. Now the police person never cared about them anymore. The two of them met outside, but they can't love each other anymore. Winston and Julia are basically broken. After seeing this all the situations, their heart became stone and they have now broken into several pieces. Now they change the point that they doesn't even want to think about anything that might be rebellious. He just sits in a cave listening to the news and smiling. That's what the last word of the novels that describes. So here are the two takeaways from this lesson. One is a negative thing that I want to tell you. That is, Big Brother so on the point that book makes is a human being can be broken down completely until he'll believe whatever you tell him. And even it's the 2 plus 2 equal to 5, at the same time, the positive side of the book is also there. But if I tell this message is that really hard to get inside someone's head. To that extent, government has to go to the incredible length to brainwash the people like Winston. So the positive side here is government is like a father. So basically, when the child is going in a wrong direction, you will go to any extent, like beating or scolding him, because you want to make him correct. So finally, you make that person into the correct way. So these are the two sides of the book. So hope you enjoyed my podcast. Please let me know if you want any other podcast, and please do give your feedback, which is valuable for me. And please do share with your friends, and the person who shares will be rewarded with this 1984 book written by George Orwell. And this will end once I publish this podcast into Instagram, and from the time I publish, the 1 hour is the time where the people will get this book for free. All thing what they need to do is simple: share this video and ask your friends to subscribe my Instagram page, and just message me the person whom you have referred, then give me your address. Hope you have enjoyed it. Thank you so much.